I was a carpenter's son, born in the small town of Bethlehem, or at least that's what they say. My memory of it is hazy, like a scene from a half-forgotten dream, a dream filled with sheep and shepherds, angels singing, and a star that outshone the moon. I was wrapped in humble cloths, cradled in a manger, but my life was anything but ordinary. We moved to Nazareth when I was still a child. It was a simple town, the kind of place where everyone knew everyone else. People moved slowly, like they had all the time in the world. I'd watch my father, Joseph, as he labored over his woodwork, his hands moving with a sort of rhythm that only comes from years of practice. He'd say, "Everything has its time, its rhythm. You just need to find it." It was from my mother, Mary, that I learned about love and kindness. She had a gentle heart, but a spirit strong enough to withstand any storm. She would tell me, "Kindness is a light, and it's our duty to shine it into the world's darkest corners." As I grew, I felt a stirring within me, an indescribable pull towards something greater. It wasn't just the stories I heard in the synagogue or the verses I read from the scrolls. It was like a deep well within me, an endless reservoir of knowledge and truth that I couldn't ignore. When I turned 30, I left Nazareth. I remember the feel of the dust on my sandals, the warm wind that blew from the east. I walked for days, weeks, until I reached the River Jordan. And there, I met a man named John. He was a curious figure, clothed in camel's hair and feeding on locusts and wild honey. Initially, he was reluctant, but I knew it was what must be done. So I told him, "In this way, we will do all that God requires." He agreed. My baptism was like a rebirth, a new beginning. As I emerged from the water, I felt a presence descend upon me, like a dove. A voice echoed in my mind, "You are my beloved Son, with whom I am well pleased." It was a confirmation, an affirmation of the path I was to walk. My journey took me through towns and villages, over hills and valleys. I met all sorts of people, fishermen and tax collectors, sinners and saints, the sick and the healthy. I talked, I healed, I shared stories that were more than just stories. They were parables, truths disguised in the ordinary. Throughout my journey, I was accompanied by 12 men. They were my disciples, my friends, and at times, my biggest challengers. They were like different notes in a song, each unique, yet harmonizing to create a melody that resonated with the rhythm of my mission. Eventually, my journey brought me to Jerusalem. It was a city of splendor and poverty, of piety and corruption. I knew my path would end there, but I also knew it was where it needed to end. The events that unfolded were like a surreal dream, filled with betrayal and pain, love and sacrifice. I was crucified, left to hang on a cross under the burning sun. But it was not the end. I rose again, breaking the chains of death. I had become a bridge, a conduit between the divine and the human, the temporal and the eternal. As I ascended, I left a promise, a hope. I will be with you always, to the end of the age. In the end, my life was not my own. It was a story, a parable, a truth that transcended time and space. And like the rhythm of a carpenter's hands or the light of kindness, it continues to echo in the hearts of those who dare to listen.